Dear friends, today we are discussing about the structure, ecosystem, and structure. In this particular case, the name ecosystem is interaction of living organisms with non-living and form their sustainable system for their survival and fittest. So in case of the ecosystem, there are different types of ecosystems. Which one? The main, we before going to the ecosystem, we have to understand the components of the environment. Here, the four major components of environments are there. The first one is the biosphere, second one is the lithosphere, third one is the atmosphere, and fourth one is hydrosphere. So these four spheres are there as the component of environment. Component, all of you have to understand. If suppose we have the human structure, or then the components of the human. So similarly here, four different components of environments are there. Biosphere, that is relevant with the plants and animals. Lithosphere, that is relevant on the earth crust, the surface of the earth, the below of the earth. So here at the earth we have see the different mountains, plateau, whatever the plain areas, whatever the desert. Then third one is the atmosphere. So that is surrounding area over the earth. So all of you have know about the atmosphere, where the we have the different monsoon is formed, and where aeroplane flies. So that is the part of the atmosphere. So next, fourth is related with the water, and hydro means the water sphere. So that is related with water component on our planet, and that is mostly in the seas. Different seas are there, including Indian Ocean, whereas the other uh, seas are also there. For example, Antarctic Ocean, Pacific Oceans. Here we have also the Arctic area, Antarctic area. So those are the part of here. I also mentioned one of the glaciers. So those glaciers related with the Gangotri and Yamunotri, the origin of Ganga and Yamuna. So those are the part of the hydrosphere. Here in India, Narmada River is also there, Chambal River is also there, and so many other rivers are there, including we have other water bodies on the surface. Different lakes are there, different talabs are there, even simple bodies are also the part of the hydrospheres. So now the ecosystem. Ecosystem, eco means the environment, and system the interaction. So environment interaction means all those spheres are interacted with that particular system and form an ecosystem. For example, here in India, monsoon is there. So monsoon itself is the part of the ecosystem of India. Similarly, here different minerals available. Those are also the part of the ecosystem. Here different types of animals, different types of plants, herbs, shrubs, and trees. So those are the part of the ecosystem, because here in Indians the survival of fittest is happening because of these four spheres, or we can, in another word, the interaction of abiotic component of environment with biotic component. For example, if we are based on the different foods, so food is obtained by the biotic component. If we have to see our uh, different technologies, those related with the metals, alloys, and minerals. So those are also the abiotic part of this Indian ecosystem. So now we have to see the here uh, uh, the structure and function. So what are the how we can say that this is the structure of ecosystem and what are their functions, and one more is there, the type of ecosystem. Simple definition, very simple definition. When you have the examination of Indian administrative services and RAS examination general studies, so this is one of the good question, and that is very supposed to be very intensively used. An ecosystem is a functional unit comprising whatever living organism. Living organism, we have the food, the living organism, where the different plants we are using, cereals, pulses, vegetables. Okay, so functional unit comprising living organisms and their interaction with the biotic and abiotic components of the environment, forming a self-sustaining and dynamic system. Now, we have, all of you have very well known, the animals and plants lives where. If suppose animals and plants are there on the earth, that particular ecosystem is the terrestrial ecosystem. If plants and animals lives in water, so that system is the aquatic ecosystem, where interaction, if suppose we have to see the whale, where is the whale? Somewhere in um, somewhere in the oceans, and that particular oceans where the whale is there. So that form an ecosystem for their whale sustainability, and so that interacts with the biotic and abiotic component of the environment. If suppose that needs the oxygen, that needs the air, so they air for respiration get from the environment, food from the biotic component. So let's we have the further two different types, terrestrial and aquatic. Now we have to see the first example is the forest. What do you mean by the forest? Here we can say the forest itself, the green blanket. What about this? This forest is the green blanket of earth. All of you know that we have, this is the green blanket on the earth. If suppose we have in India earlier, the forest area was about two-thirds part of the earth. Now that is reduced up to 22% at this present. All of you know about that. The forest itself is very important for the us. The next one is the grassland. Here we can say that grassland area where that particular ecosystem is desert somewhere in the Rajasthan. Here the in India, the Thar desert itself. So that particular Thar deserts have their specific plants, specific animals that Rajesh, the desert environment. Then we have the plateau. All of you have know in India that is the Deccan Plateau. So that particular Deccan Plateau have its own ecosystem. So that particular a form a interaction with living and organism and then form their existence. Aquatic, simple one, the ponds. So in case of the ponds, if small fishes are there, bigger fishes are there, some microorganisms are there, somewhere phytoplanktons are there. So they form an interaction and form a system, ecosystem of the pond. Lakes. If suppose we have the Kashmir, so there in Kashmir, all of you know about the Dal Lake. So Dal Lake itself, then the Dal Lake ecosystem is there. If suppose we have, in case of the Dal Lake is polluted with the different pollutants are added in the Dal Lake, and then Dal Lake is polluted. So whatever, if suppose the different parts of water is from rainwater, then the formation of the eutrophication. So water hyacinths are generated in Dal Lake. So here the formation of ecosystem with Dal Lake of Kashmir. Then we have in aquarium. So simple fish aquarium is also the example of the ecosystem. So that is also now one more thing is there. Uh, Whatever I have missed one thing and missed here, we can say the herbivores and carnivores. Something the herbivores, those depends on the plants. Then carnivores, those depends on the animals. For example, if we have the big fish, so big fish eats small fish. So that is, those are the carnivores. One word itself is also there, and that is the omnivores. Human itself take the food either plants or in animals, or both plants and animals are used. For example, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, and someone. So here mix. So those are the omnivores. So this is the simple one. How this uh, requirement for human beings are obtained. So here we have another one, the producers, the consumers, and decomposers. These three structures of all of ecosystem, either desert ecosystem, either uh, sea ecosystem, or in case of the estuaries ecosystem. So we have three major is, is, uh, part of ecosystem. Producers. So here the first one, producers. In case of the producers, the carbon dioxide, the water, and then mineral in presence of the photosynthesis process, they produce the plants. So those are the producers. We have the examples of different cereals. So how those cereals which are used by us for our food. So cereals are the producers. Similarly, whatever the agriculture produce. In case of agriculture produce, we depends on the agriculture produce. Cereals are examples. Similarly, we have the fruits. Similarly, we have the pulses. we have the vegetables. All of you know about the importance of the leafy vegetables, for example, palak. So these are the producers, and here the plants make those food with the help of the photosynthesis process, where the carbon dioxide, water, and minerals are used, and then the plants grows, and after growing the plants, we have their seeds. So wheat itself, the seed we get from that, so that is the producers. In case of the rabbit, have you know about the rabbit? And rabbit, the food of the rabbit, anyone here? The carrots are used. So carrots itself are the producers. So those carrots by rabbit is used, this is as a consumers. So that consumes, we consumes, we consumes the food, and food itself is the simple one is the producer. We will also discuss about the different types of consumers, whatever those consumers are, the primary, the secondary, the tertiary. These three different types of consumers are there. Example, for example, we have to see the deer. Okay, then we see the uh, tiger. So those consumed, how, what are they using? So primary, secondary, and tertiary consumers are there. Now we uh, we see the decomposers, and all those things are undergoing the uh, undergo. If all of you know very the Swachhata Abhiyan of India, that is most important then. So Swachhata Abhiyan means the cleaning. For example, the ants cleans our environment. If suppose any food on the in our room, and that can be scavenged by the ants. So all producers and consumers undergoing the process of the destruction, decompose. So, so that is the decomposers. So some animals are acting as a decomposers, the well-known ants. Similarly, some bacteria, some other microorganisms which decompose. If suppose death of a lion is occurs, then that will be decomposed. Human being, that is also the decomposed. So here what we have to say: producers, consumers, and decomposers. Structure of ecosystem. So next slide we have to see, that is also related the function. Anyone can say what is the function of the liver? What is the function of heart in our body? What is the function of brain in our body? What is the function of blood in our body? So anyone can say the blood carries the oxygen, the pure blood and impure blood. So that is the function. So what we have here includes a unit of system which considered sustainability, means our heart. The function of heart is to the function of heart is concerned with the blood, and that blood we have to see the blood purification and impure blood and pure blood, oxygen carrying blood and carboxy carrying blood, hemoglobin. So that is the related. So we have come here. What are the function of the ecosystem? So here we have unit of system which considered system. We simple function, productivity, production. Whatever in case of the India, the production rate, if manufacturing. So what is the production of wheat in 2026? What is the production of cereals in 2026? What is the production of sugarcane? Sugarcane itself is used for the manufacture of the sugars. So that is the productivity. So productivity by then in here one more thing is there, जैसे कि we have स्वच्छता अभियान every year and continuously स्वच्छता अभियान are follow up. So स्वच्छता अभियान, this is most important, and ecosystem part is the decomposition. So waste materials are decomposed. Anyone think about that? If agriculture produce, we are using. For example, the problem of in Delhi in winter, that is the parali. So parali itself is the big challenge for Delhi, and where the pollution are spreads. So the question is the decomposition of those used materials are essential. So here the decomposers are the part of the ecosystem. So here the function of ecosystem is decomposition. So what happen if suppose we have the living organism and where proteins, carbohydrates, fats are used and those undergo the uh, process of the uh, then human being. So after death, where human parts are the human composition, proteins, carbohydrate, fats, and other things, where goes to? So those are converted into the carbon oxides, as well as hydrogen is present, and that is in the form of the water. So here the decomposition. Any of the plant dead, so that undergo the process of the decomposition. All of you know about the agriculture manures, organic farming. So organic itself, that is after decomposition. So it is very interesting in the ecosystem part, and that is the function of the next one, energy flow. Energy, most important uh, part of our uh, development, technological development, whatever our uh, the sustainability, and that is the energy. Different types of energies are there, renewable and non-renewable energy sources. The most one, how electricity is obtained, either from the solar power system, from the wind power system, from the water resources, how we get that particular electricity, that is in the form of the energy. So how we get, if hydroelectricity is obtained from the water, the thermal power stations where the thermal electricity itself is obtained, the energy is obtained from the coal. If suppose we have the compressed natural gas, the natural gas, so natural gas, those are the part of the, so how anyone can decide where we get from where starting of the energy, producers, consumers, and decomposers. How we get the producers get the energy? The simple process, photosynthesis. Know about the photosynthesis? The process where the sun energy is converted into the chemical energy in the form of the food. So sun, the part, whatever the solar system. All of you have know about the solar system, and Earth is the one of the planet of solar system. Third one, Mercury. You know the Venus. Third part, Earth. So that particular sun energy on the earth is used by the plants. The process is the photosynthesis, where the oxygen is liberated. Very interesting. And that is used by us for the respiration. So energy flow from the sun energy into the chemical energy into the food, and foods are further consumed, and we have that is transferred from one level to another level. For example, if suppose we have the plants are eaten by the rabbits, and rabbits are further eaten by some carnivores animals, and then further, so that energy is transferred. So that is the flow of the energy. So next we have the nutrient cycle. This is most important one. Human being do work. How we can do the work? And the work itself needs the energy. Anyone can say, if food male eats food, so they are giving the nutrients value in the kilocalorie, men and women. So that depends on the work. So that is, so here different proteins, the different nutrients. Anyone can know about the proteins, know about the carbohydrates, quick energy, the carbohydrate, glucose, the sucrose. So nutrients are there. What about the different hormones, different vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin A? You know about the B complex? So all those are the nutrients for us. So this cycle, the nutrient cycle, this particular, the plants also take the nutrients in the form of different uh, manures. If we have to see organic farming. So these are the function of the ecosystem. Here we have the decomposition cycle of the terrestrial ecosystem, where all of you are the concern after whatever the example of the here, in case of the terrestrial ecosystem, so from producer to decompose. Next, here some of the question, whatever anyone can give the answer. First one, carbon cycle includes. Where is the carbon? Carbon dioxide. Okay. The carbon dioxide used by the plants. Everyone know recently the 5th June, the Environment Day. So here the carbon dioxide, here the proteins contain carbon, carbohydrate contain the carbon, the fats contain the carbon. You know about the glucose. So glucose contains the carbon. Carbon dioxide, glucose, proteins. So here this carbon itself is cycled. So what we have, what is the answer A? This is the simple one, very simple question. Producers, consumers, decomposers. I have already discussed about this. So this is the correct answer, not from the decomposer to consumer or producer, not from the producer. The simple one. Producer, consumed, consumer, then decomposition, decomposers. This is the carbon cycle. Here, how? Carbon dioxide, producer. Okay. Then the plants, the cereals, the pulses, and used by consumer, the human being. And that after death of the human being, the different, the decompose occurs, decomposition. Now, the second question, cause of overutilization of water. Water itself is most sustainable material for human being because everyone needs the water. About 2 to 3 liter per human per individual is required only for the drinking purposes. However, different applications of water, all of you know about that. So water here, water itself is consumed, overutilization. Recently, because this is the month of the June and summers are here, so lots of water itself is used in different purposes. So overutilization of water, the which one will be the answer? From answer A, infrastructure, most important one. Lots of buildings are there, high skyscraper buildings are there, and different buildings are built up. Then we have the different roads, different railway network, different. So that the big infrastructure needs, if suppose we have the dams. So here the correct answer, overutilization, the answer is infrastructure. Okay, flood, tsunami, and drinking. Those are not the answer. Correct answer is infrastructure. Next, here hydrosphere component. Anyone? Mica. This is the mineral. Zebra. This is the animal. Water. This is abiotic component. And this is tiger. This is the animal. So hydrosphere, the water system. The answer is the sea. And then example of aquatic animal, rat, all of you know, alligator, this is the correct answer. Shell, neem are not incorrect one. So correct answer is the alligator. Next, we have elephant, carnivores, herbivores, omnivores, special. So whether the here carnivores, anyone can give the herbivores, omnivores, or in space. So what is this? Out of 4, which one? This is the herbivores because the elephant use only the herbs. Next, here aquatic animal. This is another one. Tiger, zooplankton, asparagus, Spirogella. Spirogella is the algae, but that is Spirogella is the algae, but that is the plant. Tiger animal, okay. Asparagus plant, Spirogella aquatic animal. Asparagus terrestrial, tiger terrestrial, but very small animals of microorganisms. So those are the zooplanktons. So zooplanktons are eaten by the very small fishes. So they form their food chain. Next one, human, octopus, Spirogella. Anyone? Answer? The correct answer, octopus. The next correct answer is the octopus, aquatic animal. Hydrosphere component, this is repeated, however, the question. Then herbivores, the example, rabbit. All of you know about the carrot and rabbit story. So rabbit uses the carrots. Very interesting for interesting food for the rabbit. Tiger, spider, birds. Correct answer, rabbit. So next, scavenger. Very simple. Scavenger. Yani our Honorable Prime Minister's program, that is Safai Abhiyan, Swachhata Abhiyan. So scavengers, the means सफाई करने वाले, and very interesting. Here ant. All of you know about the ant, जिसको हम चींटी भी बोलते हैं. So that when any of the material if on the ground, then sure ant will be coming within short period, and that decompose that scavenge the floor. Then example of heavy is all of you know about the birds. Heavy is the birds. Ant, muskmelon, birds. So birds are the example of the next question is whatever the excess of fluoride. This is the next question, and all of you know about the drinking water, where the different components of the fluoride. All of you know the what constituents are present in water. Number of anions and cations. Number of cations and anions are present in water, and most one is the fluoride. Later on we have so many things also there. So this is the adverse effect. This is the question is there. What disease may be there because of the excess of fluoride is there? So a correct answer is here. Here I can also mention about the blue baby syndrome. This is because of the nitrate. Here fluoride is because of the fluoride. Fluorosis. Fluorosis, where the what we have in case of the fluorosis, deformation of the bones. So bones are deformed. Fluorosis process. Then taste and change. This is another one. Intestinal irritation. This is also because of the chloride present in water. Now next question. Next question is factor that influencing the producer. All of you know. Temperature, houses, fire, and snacks. So correct answer is the temperature. Okay. Next question. Factors are influenced the climate. Pressure. Okay. Represented by P. All of you know about how rain occurs. So that rain is because the pressure is reduced. When vacuum is formed, then the clouds are attracted towards that particular place. So rain occurs. So correct answer, pressure. All of you know about the atmospheric pressure. Anyone can know about what is the pressure of high hills, pressure of mountain. What is the pressure on Mount Everest? Anyone? So that is the pressure is reduced when the altitudes are there. Next. So here correct answer is the pressure. Next, fluoride pollution mainly affects. This is already the one of the teeth are also affected by the fluoride in water, and this is the ecosystem, the part of the ecosystem. All those related with questions are related with the ecosystem because the water, hydrosphere, water, the drinking water, where nitrate, fluorides, and other things are present. Yes. So next questions. From the following, which is the example of pollutant in water? Iron, calcium carbonate, toxic metal, which is the great concern. But we have the correct answer is the C. Now, from the following, which is the example of pollutant in water? This is again the very question here. the again question is there here. The what we have, the pollutants. Anyone can give the answer. What are the pollutants? Two different things are there when we add salt in water. So that is the contamination. If suppose we add pesticide in the water, so those are the pollutants, because pesticides gives human health hazards, and those pesticides if present in water. Number of pesticides are used for agriculture. All of you know about those. Number of pesticides are used, for example, removal of mosquito from our area. So those are the pesticides are used. So the correct answer, the pollutant is the pesticide. Next question from the following, which is part of the lithosphere? Radiation, abiotic component. Soil, abiotic component. Water, abiotic component. Whale, this is biotic component. So here the lithosphere, the uh, the part of the lithosphere. Next. So thank you for listening this video, and I think this particular is most important for any of the competitive examination, either in RAS or IS competitive examination. This video is very useful. So you have learned most one from this video.